Hi guys, so I have a tag video for you today, and this is the Winter Wonderland tag that I've seen popping around a little bit, and this was created by WrathsQueen'sBooks. I'm not entirely sure if I was tagged or not, but I thought it was such a fun tag and I wanted to do obviously a winter / Christmassy themed tag at this time of year, so I was really glad that I saw this one pop up. It's 6 questions and I have them typed up in front of me so that I don't forget any. So here we go. What book is so happy and sweet that it warms your heart? Now, I could have chosen a lot of books for this. I read a lot of sweet books because I've told you guys before I'm a bit of a sucker for romance, so I have quite a few books that I could have chosen, but in the end I went for Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez, or book 2 in that series, which is Rules of Attraction. They're 2 of my favourite young adult romancy contemporary novels. They just make me smile and all gooey inside. I just love those books so much. A lot of people don't like them, they feel they're too sweet, but I really enjoy them, so that's what I went for in the end. 2. What is your favourite book with a white cover? First of all, I don't have loads of books with white covers, I'm discovering, and those that I do have, I haven't actually read yet. So it was a bit tough, but in the end I saw that Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine has a mostly white cover, and this is one of my favourite books of all time, so it was a no-brainer. I had to pick this one. Love this book, guys, love it, and I've mentioned it tons and tons of times on my channel, so much so that you're probably all sick of hearing about it by now, but yeah, I love that one. 3. You're sitting in a nice comfy chair wearing a onesie with a lovely warm hot chocolate, but what monster book are you reading? I thought I'd go with the book I most recently finished, at least at the time that I'm recording this video, and that would be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It's taken me a long time to get round to reading the Harry Potter books and enjoying the Harry Potter books, so if I was going to choose a monster book to sit and read, obviously having recently read it, it would be Goblet of Fire, or possibly Order of the Phoenix, but I don't think I will get round to reading that this month. So yeah, I would have said this. I don't pick up a lot of beastie books, not because I don't want to, but because of reviewing and blogging. I want to make sure I have content to post on the blog for reviews and stuff, and especially working as well, that takes up a lot of time, so I tend to avoid big books because of simply from a time element, especially if you're not enjoying them or they're quite slow, that would take forever to read and then I wouldn't have anything to post. So sometimes I avoid reading big books, not because I don't want to, but just for that reason. Sometimes it's subconsciously, sometimes I am making a conscious effort not to pick up a book that's like huge, but I really wanted to read this, so I did. Okay, number 4. It started snowing, so you decided to have a snowball fight. What fictional character would you love to have a snowball fight with? I didn't really know who to choose for this, but in the end I went for either Eve from the Morganville Vampire series or Susanna from the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, because they're 2 of my favourite best friend characters in books, and if I was going to have a snowball fight, I'd want to have a snowball fight with friends, so I would want those 2 as fictional characters as best friends in real life because I love them so much. They're great characters. 5. Sadly, your fire is beginning to go out, so what book would you tear the last few chapters out to throw into the fire? Obviously we're talking hypothetically, because I would never rip pages out of a book and use them as firewood. Even though I don't like a book, I could not do that to a book. I just couldn't. But we're talking hypothetically, so the books that I would go for, there aren't many books that I dislike so much that I would do that to, obviously, but I would say New Girl by Paige Harbison. Really did not like that book. or Fracture by Megan Miranda. Really detested that book too, so it would be between those two. And then finally, 6, what book is so close to your heart that you would gift it to someone this Christmas who hasn't read before but wants to get into reading? I would say I didn't want to choose this book because I didn't want to feel like it was a cop-out choosing this book again, but I would have to say Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. When I read this book, it captivated me completely. I was already a reader, but it made me love reading all over again. I have extremely fond memories of the time I was reading this, like family memories, going out with my grandparents and to be sat reading it, of actually buying the book. My mum took me all over town to try and find a copy of this book, and I feel like it would be a great book to get someone reading because it's a retelling of Cinderella, so it should be a story that they would already be familiar with, but they would see the different nuances of how it's been adapted. And Gail Carson Levine's writing is it's easy to understand, but it's still very magical. She definitely captivates the fairies that, or Lucinda, the fairy that puts a curse on Ella, when it comes to the giants, to the ogres, to the magical creatures. I just feel like it would be a fun read, and even though it's not middle grade and I wouldn't say it's particularly young adult, it's a weird one to place, this book, but I feel like it would suit readers of many ages. I still love it now. I feel like adults who love sort of fairy tale retellings and young adult novels, people that like romance would like it, people that like sort of mild fantasy. It's definitely not high fantasy, but it would be a book that would be perfect for many people, whether they love reading or not. I feel like it would be one that could definitely start a love of reading, and I would definitely hands down choose this book, even though I choose this book for lots of things. For this particular one, 100% yes. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and thanks to Jack Eats Books for creating this tag. I do not know who has been tagged, who has not been tagged. A little bit out of the loop that way, but if you are reading this, please consider yourself tagged. I thought this was a really fun tag, and obviously a fantastic one for this time of year, as it was obviously catered for this time of year. I'm a little bit tired, guys, so that's why I'm either repeating myself or not making any sense at all. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, consider yourself tagged, and happy reading, guys.